We're live. We're live. We're live. We're starting a bit earlier tonight. You gotta love it. We'll put in some lo-fi music. It would be golden to go. Loyalty free lo-fi. We can not do lo-fi tonight. Like chill music.
Charmin Ultra Soft is soft.
All right. For anything, let me check if this is actually loyalty free. They've got terms on how to use their music. Oh. Wait, is this actually good music? Nope, I don't like this. Fuck your terms. Give me just give me lo-fi. Whatever. This is not loyalty free. Oh, give me some loyalty free music to code with. Bray. I guess I need to open up the when did I do yesterday? If it works, it works, whatever. Alright. Let's get to it. Let's do it. It's a bit too much volume on this. Lower the volume a bit. Have you ever seen an ad for an ad blocker? World is getting too chaotic, bro. Alright, let's get to it. Start coding. I thought I was starting earlier tonight, but now that I look at the clock, it's 11. It's not earlier. Whatever. Alright. Let's see. Heaps. Not heaps. Hacks. Libraries. Hex lib, Hex package manager, standard library. You can use external libraries with hacks. This can compile to C++ and then use extra libraries. I'm sorry, external libraries with C++. And because C++ can be compiled to be ran on any platform, that can actually be useful. So let's see how we can do that. Crest.js, open blah 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 CPP. There is a runtime support for the CPP backend of Hex compiler. This release contains the headers, libraries, and support code required to generate a fully compiled executable from Hex code. But how can we use a C++ library with Hex? Hex CPP external library. Is that possible? Getting started with Hex, C++. Externs. Hex standard library comes with many externs for the Flash and JavaScript target at the wrap C library and Hex CPP. Oh, we need to wrap it. How do you include external libraries into Hex? For a start, check out C++ Magic by Hughes Anderson. Much dimension compiler metadata and that can be found at the built-in compile metadata Hex manual. HXCPP uses an XML-based built-in build system. When you launch Hex, CP source that Hex was a transpile to CPP and a build.xml is produced. Alright, everything is then built by HXCPP, merging the newly generated project build to the XML with the global default XML definitions. You can inject compiler flags, libraries to link, include directories, etc. through this. Alright. These tags will append to the project build.xml. Okay. Oh, you can actually have like CPP file code. You can include things. And then you can have native CPP functions. That's a bit fucked up. Like if I want to do this, I might just code the whole thing in CPP. I don't know, man. C++ Magic by Hughes Anderson, which gives libraries access to platform-specific functions. The most basic level of manipulation is to add paths and libraries to your build.xml file. But is that what Hex is doing? I'm not too sure. Hey, who's watching? How's it going, guys? Oh, you instantly left. Was it too bad? Oh, someone came in, gave me a thumbs up, and just left. I'm guessing this is a bad time to be streaming. But anyways, thanks for the support. Let me just justify my microphone here real quick. Alright, I'm always having trouble with this joint on my microphone. Anyways, he has also introduced a cpp.star package which contains native array, native string, which are to be used as static extensions along with new native types. Header class code, header namespace code, CPP file code. Extern magic. We've got conditional. Wait, let me look at the expression. We took a look at the expressions, class fields, property methods, access modifier. Oh, let me check this real quick. We've got visibilities, like private, public, stuff like that. Is that right? Yeah, we've got public, private. Is there any other? And we've got inline. What does that mean? The inline keyword allows functions bodies to be directly inserted in place of calls to them. What does that mean? This can be a powerful optimization tool, but it should be used judiciously, as not all functions are good candidates for inline behavior. Oh. Alright. You can boost up the performance, but it's a bit stupid too. It looks experimental to me. Hacks looks experimental. A lot of this stuff might be working, but they also might not be working, so you know what I'm saying? We've got the dynamic keyword to make them or bindable. So you can set tests as something else because they're dynamic. Override. We've got a static extern. The extern keyword causes the compiler to not generate the field in the output. This can be used in combination with the inline keyword to force a field to be inlined or cause an error. This is not possible. Here we have some combination with inline, extern, and inline. When creating externs, you may hit problems with reserved keywords. What is extern? To not generate the field in the output. What does that mean? What is output? And then what is final? Final keyword can be used on class fields with the following effect. Final function to make a function non-overridable. Declare a constant that must be initialized immediately or in the constructor and cannot be written to. You can have inline final as the same, but inlines the value whenever it is used. Oh. You can have final functions and final inline functions. Alright. We don't care about the expressions, we're gonna go straight to externs. Externs can be used to describe target-specific interaction in a type-safe manner. Target-specific interaction in a type-safe manner. They're defined like normal classes, except that the class keyword is preceded by the extern keyword. Methods have no expressions. Then all argument and return types are explicit, and the default visibility is public. Private must be specified explicitly. Alright, so you can have extern class math. We see that externs can define both methods. How is it target specific though? Like, you're not specifying any targets when you're saying extern class math. Externs can define both methods and variables. Once this information is available to the compiler, it allows field access accordingly. It also knows the types. This works because the return type of method Flora is declared to be int. Alright. Alright, so you declare the type, but you do not declare the body of a function or a variable and stuff like that. So that you can use a library to define that code. Alright, so that's how you wrap functions. That's how you wrap libraries for hacks. Alright. Now that we know what externs are, let's delete here. So there's extern class std string. What is that native? Oh, that's native code. New std string. That's native include. Native code. What is this? SWF? What is that format? These are the built-in compiler metadata. So you got CPP include. Do you have just include? Oh yeah. That's for CPP. What is the library this guy wants to use? The more I read about hacks, the less it makes sense to me. I need some M&Ms. Like, I understand how it works, don't get me wrong. The less it makes sense to me means that why does it exist? It's so stupid. Like, like if you have to use this library, and because that you have to code some parts in native C++, and you need to include that library that exists only for C++, and you need to compile only to C++. Why would you learn to code in hacks? Why would you code in hacks? Code it in C++. I don't know. I don't know, man. Kinda doesn't make sense to me. Some degrees. So I'm gonna skip this part. Let's take a look at the Heaps IO code. Hey. Heaps IPE. Damn. That actually looks like a game engine. I hate it. I don't know, man. The whole thing looks like a layer on top of everything else. And its existence does not make sense to me. There is no necessity for it to exist. I cannot wrap my head around spending time on it. Like, it doesn't appeal me. If it doesn't appeal me, I can't spend time on it. Like this thing, if JS do that. Sorry. Not nice. GLES equals 1 out version is equal to 100. Out the run S. What's S? Shader data. That was just for GLSL. We've got eval, flatten, channel texture, channel.hx, all this shit. But what I'm wondering about is that where is OpenGL or anything else like DirectX? Where is it connected to this? How does it get connected to DirectX? Yes, it's in Tools. There's no tools here. Tools. What's this? how does it get compiled to include OpenGL and stuff like that? Compiles for HTML5 through WebGL. Can be compiled for mobile. I'm guessing through OpenGL. Desktop with OpenGL or DirectX. But how do you do OpenGL? OpenGL, this repository. Ooh, let me take a look at this. Cache file builder, cache file platform. Look at this switch case. Oh my god, that is nasty. Why do people like hacks? Heaps, I'm sorry. Hacks and heaps, both. Why is this such a big deal? I don't get it. Switch platform. If it's DirectX and then there's another compiler if here. If it's HLDX. I'm guessing that means it's running HackSlib through DirectX. Let me grab that. HXD. There is an HXD here? Oh my god, that's everything. That is everything. What is this? No. Window.hx. It's defined in a class. A lot of these things. Like, what is this function? Bruh, stop. What the fuck is that? Get is focused, return true always. That is a fake function. So is this one. I probably don't understand a lot of stuff. That is probably why this appeals to be stupid to me. But maybe it is actually stupid. It is actually stupid. This is crazy. You shouldn't develop games with this. Yeah. No, you shouldn't use this. I love the fact that it's open source. You can look into it. With Unity, you cannot do this. You cannot just look at the code and see how stupid it is. This one, you can actually do that. So it's thumbs up for that, but a thumbs down for whatever the hell this is. FMT impel. What is that? What is impel? Floyd 32. UN 16. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. We've got apps app.hx. Alright, I want to look for include. Oh, OpenGL driver. Oh, look at this mess. Alright. Someone actually worked really hard. Not someone, not a single person, but a bunch of people worked really hard on this huge driver for OpenGL. But this is not the way to do it. I do not believe that this is a good choice for anybody to, like, I wanted to make a bunch of tutorials and Heaps and hacks and stuff, but I don't know. I might make a video about why Heaps.io sucks. It might sound harsh. Like, what is this? DirectX driver. This is bad. Oh my god. This is like adding another layer on top of DirectX and OpenGL and everything else. Just making this huge code. Just so that you can code in Hex and not in C++. Why? Why would you do that? Like, can't you learn C++? Anyways, I'm done with I'm done with this, and for good reasons too. I am done with this. I really want to develop a game and release it on Steam, but this is not the way to go. Definitely, for the reasons that we talked about. And you can see the process of me deciding that this is not worth it on my live streams. And I'm not going to be pursuing this, I'm sorry. I really want to take a look into Rust and C++. Compare these two and develop a game in one of them. Like raw C++. I might use a couple of libraries, but just libraries, not engines. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I definitely want to develop an online game using one of those guys. I might take a look at Mono Game. This one's open source too. One framework for creating powerful cross-platform games. Is it open source? Yep, it's on GitHub. Let's take a look at how this one handles. Is there OpenGL anywhere? Alright. I can see OpenGL.targets. Graphics capabilities. Oh, you can see if OpenGL in here too. Game engines are messy. Namespace, monogame.opengl, internal class, graphics contact, SDL. Let's take a look at this one. What is this one? Oh, this is the base class. It's got swap interval. Is disposed. These are not. Make current swap buffers, dispose. This one's not as bad as Heaps, but still annoying. Still annoying. Still annoying. Alright, how does this one handle? Different graphics libraries. Look, this is so clean. This is how an engine should be looking when you search OpenGL on it. Bruh. Fucking finally. That is what an engine should be looking like. Like Heaps IO. GitHub. I want to put this one here. Oh, bruh. I'm gonna put this one here, and I'm gonna put this one over here. So this is Bevy engine. Bevy. Hey, someone's watching. How's it going? This is Bevy engine on the left, and it's Heaps IO on the right, right? So now if I search anything on, if I search OpenGL on here, look. We've got a file called GL driver. Why? It's just a layer of OpenGL driver on top of OpenGL and C++ and everything. It's porting every compatibility that OpenGL has, and if OpenGL just gives out a tiny little update, the whole file needs to change. That's stupid. Look at this one here. Do you see any OpenGL driver? Do you see any extra code that will sit on top of OpenGL on this engine? No, you don't see that. You don't see that over here. It's totally clean. So this one's gonna be faster and less stupid. So I'm sorry, Heaps. I'm totally done with you. What an unfortunate and unexpected turn of events. Heaps is stupid, spoiler alert. Heaps, hacks, they're stupid. We're not gonna be doing hips and hacks. Not anymore, at least. After diving deep into hacks doesn't make any sense to me. It's just a bad solution for a very big problem, and then Heaps sits on top of that bad solution, so it's a bad solution on top of a bad solution. You shouldn't be using Heaps. I might make a video about why you shouldn't be using Heaps, but if you watch my streams, it's gonna be totally clear to you, especially this last live stream. Yeah. But basically, if I want to say it again, like, this is called gldriver.hx. It's in Heaps IO files, right? And it's a huge file. Bruh. Never let your code grow to this size. If you have a code, if you have a single file that contains this much code, you're doing something wrong, first of all. But then, this is like wrapping every compatibility that OpenGL has. And probably not every compatibility, but enough compatibility for Heaps to work. It's wrapping everything on Heaps. For Heaps. For hacks, I'm sorry, for hacks. And that's, I don't know. That's a red flag in my book. Too much work. Too much reliability. This will reduce scalability. It's just stupid. It feels like somebody really likes you to code in hacks when you want to create a game. Why would you not code in this simple game engine? Not an engine. In a native code like this, you have to compile this to C++ if you want to use a C++ library like OpenGL. Otherwise, if you want to use like OpenGL with Java, then that's another wrapper, turning OpenGL from C++ to Java, and then turning it from Java to hacks, and then on top of it sits Heaps, and then this is the fourth floor, right? OpenGL, and then Java, and then hacks, and then Heaps, and then at the fifth floor you want to write your game. Just because you don't want to code in C++, which was the first floor? What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Are you like, I don't know. this is dumb. If you're too dumb to learn to code in C++, why are you learning to use Heaps? Go learn to use Unity, something simple. Or even Unreal Engine with that visual scripting thing. Yeah. So basically I'm done forever with Heaps and hacks and all that bullshit. How can I remove it from my PC? I guess I'm just gonna let it sit there. Nope, I'm gonna remove it. I'm worried it might have some vulnerabilities. Might make my machine hackable. Not that it's not hackable, but it might make it more vulnerable. Anyways, I might take a look at, like, I didn't like mono games at all, too. It's doing the same thing, more or less. Not exactly, not as messy as Heaps.io, but still. But what I liked was Bevy. Of course, you can still code your game like C++, use SFML and some math libraries. But I want to explore my options. So let's look at this one. What does it offer? It's data driven. Oh, it has an ECS, fast, simple, capable, 2D render, 3D render graph, cross-platform. See, it's cross-platform without having that mess that you saw in Heaps library. Do this. If this is possible, why would you do that? You've got UI, you've got scenes, sound, and hardware loading, productive compile times, and it's open source. I might give this one a try pretty soon. What do you think? Any ideas? Any thoughts? Bevy tutorials. Aren't there any good Bevy tutorials out there? Let me search it up on my keyword tool real quick on my phone. I'm guessing there are good Bevy tutorials. This one's for 8 months ago. Bevy engine tutorial window and first sprite. Oop. Stop. This one's for 8 months ago. Let me take a look at it. See if this one is a good tutorial. It's got 12k views. Kinda like my hacks tutorial. I think I've got 12k views on my hacks tutorial. Well, first of all, oh, that's so bad. Not the video. The fact that the version of the Bevy is getting outdated. I really like hacks Heaps because of the HTML5 ports. And do you code in any other languages other than hacks? Pablo Barria. If you do, if you're a flexible programmer, HTML5 game engines. Phaser.io, a fast, fun, and free open source. Oh, and can you compile Bevy? No, you cannot run on HTML5. Usually you use Unity, but you're really interested in HTML5. Yeah, you can make a lot of money making HTML5 code. Games, not code. Let me think. Like, as the games that you run, if is the games that you make with Heaps like better than the games that you make with Unity in any way? Because you can export Unity games to run on HTML5 too, using WebGL. Because Hex uses WebGL too. Sorry, Heaps. Heaps uses WebGL too to run on HTML5. It's not magical. It's doing so in a very nasty way. I can explain to you again if you want. But like, a lot of it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. What do you mean, yeah? Like, does it have an advantage? Does Heaps has an advantage in its HTML5 games? Unity HTML5. HTML5 and JavaScript. So you can use gdevelop. That thing's bad. You can use Phaser. I've heard about this one. Pixel.js, Babylon, Cocos 2D. That is more of a UI engine. But then you've got Crafty.js, Melon.js, a fresh and lively HTML5 game engine, PlayCanvas WebGL game engine, WHS.gas, Quintus, Enchant. None of them looks cool. So many engines. Ooh, that seems interesting. Blank.js. JavaScript physics engine. I'm guessing you can make a lot of cool games with this. Oh, let me look. I'm bringing up the chat over here. Didn't know that Hex Heaps was a mess, as you say. Well, it's probably not that important if you're creating a tiny game. If you're creating a very simple tiny game, it's not that. It's not gonna make any difference. Like, you can use it anyways, and it might be advantageous to use it, but it will definitely be a waste of time to get good at it. Because then you'll be only, like, it takes so much time to get good at it, because it's layered upon a lot of other stuff. And when you get good at it, it doesn't give you actual power, if that makes any sense, because it's a mess. That's why I chose not to pursue it, because I want to spend time on one thing and get really good at it and make tutorials, advanced tutorials, and then it should be worth spending time on. Live 5 languages. Codes to finally compile code is stupid. Yeah. Heaps is so trash. Yeah, it is trash. Like they're they're actually working on it, and people are excited about it. I can feel that, and I'm guessing they're funded very well. That keeps them working on it. But the whole thing is stupid. Like if you can get people to get excited about it, you can make money. But well, but like money is not the most important thing. So like you're kind of wasting your time. The developers, in my opinion, are kind of wasting their time working on something. I don't know. I don't want to judge them. I don't want to judge them. Anyways, that's just my personal opinion. Let's put it that way. Let's run one of these. This is a JavaScript physics engine. It looks so cool. Oh, you can actually move them. Let's see. It's so cool. It might be nice to use this on your website. It'd be some cool website. And you can actually run this. It's running on my browser, so you've got options. You don't need to stick with the heaps. But you're right. Maybe I should make a good HTML5 game. People actually like that. Building a WebGL application. Can you use as Unity? WebGL can you use Unity HTML general type. HTML5 gamedevs.com. That is a good website for you, my friend. It's a forum. It's got all these different frameworks that you can use. Oh, look, there's a Hex.js here. Let's see. Anyways, let me take a look at here. First, I'm currently buying games to see some nice Unity titles that are expected to run on WebGL, I'm guessing. It is some more reading formats are a bit confusing. Is this guide from Unity? Blah blah blah. Hardly anything on Unity's website will say how easy and perfect it all is. Yeah. HTML5 would be cool. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Let's see what we could do. The Unity WebGL port eats RAM for breakfast and is hard to optimize. Unity game for WebGL these days. You can make this is for 2021, so it's not that old. My take on Unity's current WebGL port is works good enough for a desktop browser. Reliability on a mobile browser is not stable enough for a good player experience. Alright, Mr. Pancakes, I trust you. Alright. Unity's out of the window. See? Like in Hex, look at here. if they want to use hacks, they have to use it with X turns of pixie.js, X turns of phaser for hacks, X turns of buzz for hacks. Like, why would you want to do that? Just go straight to whatever pixie, phaser, buzz, or howler. Go straight to that. Save this discussion. Best way to integrate JavaScript libraries into... That's stupid. Babylon Mac build problem, tweening engine. Anyone using hacks? Let's see. I'm using hacks and ME. Make my first HTML5 game, and I want to know if there are other developers who are using hacks to make their games. It's an excellent tutorial. Flash, Windows, Android, and iOS, but it's very bad when it comes to HTML5. Oh. Interesting. Thanks, Izzo. I guess I will stick with Phaser then, as I'm used to Flixel. Take a closer look at hacks. I'm biased, but Flammable delivers really good performance. What is Flammable? Playable ads. 2D kit. This sounds more promising than anything. Playable ads? I'm in. This can make me so much money. Instant games that load instantly. Instant game that loads instantly. What is that phrase? Alright, let's watch the video. Under 1 megabyte, drag and drop visual editor, customizable game template, simplified wizard. Maybe you should try this one too. Yeah, give me that money. But anything that has UI and has like, it's this simple, it generally gives you less flexibility. But it might work for you. It might be good enough. I've got... Alright, let's do the first one. Like, the most popular one on this is Pixie.js. So let's take a look at that. See what that is. The HTML5 creation engine. Create beautiful digital content with fastest, most flexible 2D WebGL renderer. That's brutal. Fast. Look how fast it is. See, again. Look at that frame drop. It's fast. Created with Pixie. Let's take a look at this. Just viewer. Ooh. Whatever this is, it's definitely not fast. But I'm guessing that's because of WebGL itself. Yeah. WebGL is messy, I'm guessing. It gives you multi-touch interactability, But if you want to go with HTML5 games, I suggest you go with Pixie.js. Also, let's take a look at Phaser. HTML mobile, desktop and mobile HTML5 game framework. That sounds promising too. Like they care about mobile and desktop, like they have it on their mission statement. Like straight up, when you open the website, they tell you desktop and mobile HTML5 game framework. That sounds good to me. That feels like they're onto something. Could you give me the GitHub for it? Phaser. GitHub. To take a look at the code. It's a 2D engine though. Heaps is a 3D engine. It has a 3D engine. Oh, look how messy this one is. At least this is in plain JavaScript. JavaScript is compiled to run on JavaScript engines on browsers. In Heaps, we've got a couple more layers in between. This direct JavaScript. But still, it's like doing like whole creating the pipeline. That's not that bad. WebGL render. Phaser render to WebGL. No, it's not that bad. It doesn't have a wrapper for WebGL. It's using the WebGL directly. That's good. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. What was the song? My tea's gone cold, I'm wondering why. Got out of bed at all. Morning rain clouds up my window. I like the fact that you can run this on mobile and desktop at the same time, and they're focusing on that. Phaser. Let me search it up real quick. First of all, Phaser tutorial. I'm starting to like this. How old are these? 4 years ago? 3 years ago? 6 months ago? Phaser 3.5 getting started. It's 52 minutes. But it's just one episode. This is still 5 months ago. Is this a good tutorial? The fuck is this?
I'm Super Tommy, and in this video we are going to look at creating your very first Phaser 3 game in TypeScript. So we're actually going to use this guide from the official Phaser website, the Making Your First Phaser Script. We're going to follow this tutorial basically one for one, but replace the JavaScript with. There's a green ground, so it looks pretty good. There's no errors. Okay, so that's how that's set up. But for us, we don't need to do nice sounding bound hour floors. It's very handy to make sure that your physics are actually.
Sorry, I'm just searching something on my other computer. Yeah, phaser sounds good too. What is the Terraria engine? Terraria. What was it made on? Engine software 505 game reporting Terraria. Oh, it's on Microsoft XNA. Oh, maybe this is better than Monogame. Just researching game engines at this point. Microsoft XNA, what is it? Source. Oh, it's Monogame, that's not what I'm looking for. It's written in XNA. Open source C++ game engine. Godot Torque 3D. Spring Cookies 2D gameplay. Monogame. Babylon. I really want to try Bevy. Just for shits and giggles. Just see what it's all about, because it looks really cool to me. And also, I also like to develop my own engine. One day. Maybe not today, but one day. Phaser looks fun too. Do you have any demos? Yeah, examples. Look at these. Damn. That almost loaded instantly. It looks so cool. This one's dying over here. Huh. You can see the code over here. It's in JavaScript. JavaScript is so powerful. Phaser examples are better than Bevy. Yeah, but they're not the same thing. You see, Phaser is not as powerful as Bevy. Bevy is for totally different targeted games. Phaser is like for 2D games, tiny 2D games that you want to run instantly in your browser. You don't really care about stuff. You just want to build a 2D game that runs on your browser. That's all. But Bevy, this one's fast and it's innovative. I don't think it's. I guess they're still in beta release, so there is no version 1, so there might be huge changes in the future that make your game unable to run in the next updates. There are no long-term supports or anything, but it's blazing fast because it runs on Rust, and it's full of new ideas. It's different from anything else that you've seen, in a better way, in a good way. But Phaser is just different than Bevy. What the fuck is that? You can actually have spines in Bevy and Phaser. This is one powerful game engine for HTML5. Let's take a look at the game objects thing. Bladder. You can have different shaders. That looks good. Not bad, actually. All right. I need to decide between Bevy and Phaser. I might try them both, just for fun. I like this. I like Phaser. I like Bevy. Let's take a look at the examples of Bevy. Let me search it up. Bevy Jam. Oh man. Ass everywhere.
Over the folks are in Betty. Game Jam number 2 is now over. So let's take a look at the top 10 games that were entered into the Betty Game Jam. Betty Game Jam number 2 was the second Betty Game Jam ever run, the goal of which was to create a game in 10 days with any number of people that use the chosen by however you want, which means your
I don't care. Show me the games.
there. Sure, everybody's done. There are 4 second clicker. One clicker has a fairly high gameplay score, ranking number 4, with everything else pretty much being 10 or above. The originality for this game is number 35, so maybe this is a game mechanic that we've seen before. So here is one clicker, a simple clicker factory game where you combine numbers. Note, when collecting a coin, the square of the coin's value is added to your...
The fuck is running on the browser? Am I right? That is running in the browser.
I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but I am kind of clicking around. I don't know if I'm supposed to be just clicking a bunch. It seems like the more that I click on
Looks boring.
Parking lot at night kind of vibe. Which I
This
love.
one is looking on the browser too. Oh, so you can run bevy games on the browser.
Running
That's 3D.
Actually, I don't think I can toggle the menu. Oh, there it is. So there's a mouse speed setting. I'm gonna go towards this door over here and see what happens. Okay, so we've got to go find money somehow. Very atmospheric, big, large, empty parking lot at night kind of vibe. Down for this game. I love how this game looks, but for me, I had a really hard time. Not be a game in the genre that I typically have experienced here the most, and I think that's what they execute. Blocks with other code blocks to combine them, use the hammer to split them. Failing, they had to be. If that makes sense. If I ended with the correct code, or if I with one of 3 different equipments with
Alright, that looks good.
one of 3 different elements, and depending on what kind of get the one thing that I found myself having to do over and over and over is I swapped between these so often that it felt like going back to each of these little stones to do the swap was really characters like small death, and it reminds me a little bit of like the peak '08 version of Celeste in a way. So
What is the best game that... Here it is.
if that makes sense, like not in the graphics way or anything like that, but just the like simple games, simple rules, not a whole lot going on, just kind of like run back and forth, grab the thing, score as many points as you can, and then when you're bored, just stop. Which is kind of cool. I don't know what the corn score is. I guess they're trying to.
Alright. I'm not impressed. Bevy is the future of web games. Bevy is the future of web games. I don't think I agree with that. The problem that we're facing right now with the web games and everything. This is the final talk of the night. That football game looks so fun. Yeah, it looks fun. But yeah, let's wrap this up here. So, first of all, Hacks and Heaps, they both suck. Like, I feel like they're not worth spending time on. For the reason that we talk about. And then the problem that we are facing here is that we've got phones now, a lot of phones, and people are spending a lot of time on their phones, and you need to have games that can be ran on phones and on desktop and on consoles. That is the problem. On phone, the input is touch. On a console, the input is using a controller. And on desktop, the input is using mouse and a keyboard. So, a lot of people want to solve this with developing one thing that will export games with using a lot of ifs and elses, a lot of conditioning. That would export games to work on everything. And that's actually a problem with HTML5 too. Like HTML5 games should be ran on both PC and mobile. So I'm guessing if it's a simple game, that makes sense. But if it's not a simple game, it doesn't make sense. And if it is a simple game, if you're not using if you're not making a game that is gonna use the whole CPU on brand new phones. Like, it's gonna drain the power of the CPU to its extent. And you also want that game to run on desktop at the same time. You shouldn't really worry about it. Because if your game is simple enough, you can just make it using whatever engine. It's not gonna matter. And at the same time, if you do that, your game is not gonna be a technological phenomenon. It might be a nice game because of the game design, but it's not gonna be a good game because it's doing something technologically new and technologically exciting. So, if you want to do something technologically exciting, you need to know. If you want to do it on the phone, you go for the phone. Are you doing it on Android? You go straight to Android. You don't do multi-platform stuff, because that'll limitate your ability to do something technologically amazing. So yeah, you need to be clear about what you want to do. And that'll clear up a bunch of stuff for you. Alright. So that's what I understood tonight. And I might be streaming more on Twitch. Not on YouTube anymore, because I'm not doing Heaps and Hacks. It's always streaming on Twitch. You can follow me on there. It's like twitch.com/vlogs. That's me on Twitch. And then yeah, I'll be streaming on there, trying to make an online game, a multiplayer game. That's more like a party game. And yeah, it's gonna be it. Yeah, thank you, Pablo. Thank you for watching my stream tonight. Thank you for listening to my naggings and stuff like that. And yep, that's it for me tonight. If you need any help from me, just don't hesitate to ask me. You're really nice. Take care, Pablo. I'm not a genius. I'm not close to a genius. But if you need any help that I can help you with, if there's anything I can help you with, don't hesitate to ask me. And take care.